Hey, finally, I think I finally have gotten it growing on. Yes, I have indeed. Okay, nice. Can I pin this? Okay, now I just have to share the actual broadcast, and people can hear my voice now, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. People can hear my voice now. Okay, let's see. Let me move that around. That moves around. Yep, pretty cash money. If I go back to the first setting, actually, let me test what this sounds like with everything I've readjusted just to see. Does it still have that weird echo? Nope, never mind. This is 100% better. I was just tripping. Let's check something out. Never mind. I should end that. Or can I retitle the broadcast? I do not know. Let me check. I think I can actually. Let's see. And yep, seems to be changed. Cool. Let's see. No, live. I am currently live. Okay, okay, okay. S- Same thing. Yep. Okay, actually, yeah, that delay isn't bad. That's pretty good, actually. Volume's all the way at the max. Gain maybe a little more. Overall, I think that's good. Okay. All right, I just sent out the link. Please draw a horse. Yeah, I mean, I was already planning on doing that. I already have, oh, a horse, an actual horse. I probably won't be drawing any horses, but maybe. Yeah, I'll draw a horse. Uh, Actually, we'll start off with a pretty simple horse, and then we can work our way up in terms of the complexity of the horse, just to see what that's like. So, a horse, you gotta start off. Oh my God, that is terrible. The controller thingy for my what's it called? The thing I used to draw just died. It's not a problem. I can just plug it in, but that's annoying. Uh, It's connected to what? Sorry if I seem a bit all over the place. I am all over the place today. And I didn't prepare for this because usually not a person who prepares too much for things. Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash Kissing. That is a good ship. And that is one. I understand that one. Draw Greenabeth. Greenabeth is not one of my favorite characters from. So okay, actually, stop distracting me. I'm gonna get back on topic. So this is your starter horse. Imagine it like a Pokemon. You start off with what is essentially a stick figure. That's your horse. That is your very, very beginner horse. And, it has like a horse head. We all know what a horse head looks like, right? Yeah, you're not stupid. Yeah, so this is the horse. Can give it a nice mane. And that is your starter horse. That's the horse that you begin with when you first start off. No, it's a horse. You can't say an horse, Soraya. That's not how that works. Okay, let's see what the suggestions are. So we have a horse, Minecraft Fox, but like attractive. Okay, man, that's all you. You're the only one who wanted to see that. I don't know what a horse looks like. I guess this is a horse. A horse in high spirits. Now I'm just drawing Ponyhead from Star versus the Forces of Evil, which was that's a horse, I guess. This is a horse, but not really. It doesn't really look like a horse. This is more like a Gen 5 thing than a horse. Yeah, then I'll give it a little carrot. And there you go. There's your horse. I hope you like your horse. You like the Minecraft Fox? Oh wow. Uh, a horse should totally make an appearance in your comic. I've been thinking about that. I I keep telling myself, yeah, I have to do that. That'd be pretty funny, but then I always forget when I'm writing the script for the next chapter. It probably will happen eventually, but just not now. Okay, give me a second. I gotta find out if there's any way I can pin this chat. I keep having to tab back and forth to find. What did I just do? No idea what I just did, but okay. Keep having to tab back and forth. If I minimize Krita, I should be able to have that open also, but it's not gonna be pretty for me. It's gonna be quite annoying. How do I detach this from OBS? I guess I can't. I simply cannot. Okay. Okay, attack here. Let me see. Actually, I could just open up the stream on my phone and look at the comments there because right now there is no way to do it on the. What the hell? I cannot open up my thing. That's weird. Never mind. Hello, welcome back, Musty You. Uh, the people here are speaking and using their voice to tell me to draw some interesting things. Okay, so that's the horse. That's the evolution of a horse. It's the life cycle of a horse. But while we're at it talking about horses, let me let you guys in on a little secret, a theory, if you will. So the theory is that flies, like the big ass annoying flies that always buzz in your wings. Yeah, those flies. The theory is that these flies are actually the creators of horses. Actually, why am I calling this a theory? This is literally true. This is how it happened. You guys are just all stupid and you don't know your actual history. So these guys created everything. And then yeah, it's pretty cash money. And then they created the horses. So those guys created the horses and they did their thing. Hold up, I'm getting a call. What's that about? It wasn't the pandas actually. Pandas don't actually do much. It was only the horses. I still don't know how to draw actual horses, so I'm just gonna use that very rudimentary shape that I did earlier. So the horseflies created horses, and then that led to hello, Sleepy. That led to the creation of the BBL flies that you have in Texas. I gotta tell that story about the stupid ass BBL flies in Texas. There are these flies in Texas that have BBLs. It was insane. Like, like they had like big asses. You see how their eyes are like big and round? Imagine that, but it's on their like cheeks. Like, yeah. So they still have wings and shit. They still fly, but they just have like insane BBLs. It's crazy. Sleepy was sleepy. Yeah, they're pretty much just BBL flies. So it goes from horse flies to horse to BBL flies, and you're probably wondering where's the horse and horse flies come from? Well, it comes from the other horse deity that created the horse flies out of spite of the seahorses, because the seahorses created the regular horse god, and the horse god was like, man, I want to fly because that's how the seahorse was like, man, I want to walk. And so the seahorse created the regular horse. Yeah. June Egbert, I don't know who that is. Uh, you guys are gonna have to give me a minute. I have to go leave to do a quick task for a few seconds. All right, I'm back. I had to go get something done. What are you idiots talking about? I see Homestuck. Wow. That's a coincidence because I was looking up Homestuck for a certain something I was thinking of just earlier today, but that went nowhere. Uh, uh, yours is the creative Mpreg around John Homestuck. John Homestuck. I know that guy. Okay. Uh, back to I don't know what I just did there. Huh, interesting. I moved that down. All right, back to this. I'm trying. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So I guess I didn't really miss much since I don't know what any of that is. But yes, I was saying the seahorse made everything and stuff. But yeah, that's a story for another day. Uh, John Homestuck. Kind of, I have a vague. I'm gonna try and draw him from memory. I don't know. He's got like glasses, and he's got buck teeth. I think this is what John Homestuck looks like. Huh. Let's see. I don't quite think his eyes were like that. Now this just looks like the nerd emoji, but not really. I think his eyes were like this, and then he has a weird body. I know he doesn't have hands. Why is there a trans flag next to John Homestuck? Is he trans? Or is she trans? I actually don't know who John Homestuck is. I know he's got like stubby legs. He's got the weird Newgrounds legs. I think this is John Homestuck. I know he has something on his t-shirt, I'm pretty sure. I don't think his t-shirt was just white. Not looking at this, yeah, I know that's not his haircut. Add the trans flag. See if I can I know what the trans flag looks like. Not that shade, but uh I think that's right. Either that or it's the other way around where the pink is here, the blue is here, the pink is here, and then the blue is here. It's one of those. I'm leaning towards this. Yeah, I think I am right. I think it is this. Yeah. So I'll just throw that in there. Jane is the trans femme one, and possibly soon to be canon. Is Homestuck still going on? How is that soon to be canon? Or is that just wishful thinking on your part? Like, do you just hope it'll be canon, or is it actually gonna become canon? Which is it? Oh, wait, no, I missed one line. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna look up the trans flag to see how close I was. Uh, oh, yeah, I was pretty close. I was there with my colors. I just didn't get the placement of the colors right. And it's more pastel than this. Yeah, if I just inversed it, yeah, that just makes more sense. I also don't know what I know there's like green on John Homestuck. I know there's a green somewhere. His shirt's not green. Are his pants green? Uh, I think so. Hmm. That's okay. You can hop on that. I shall just draw John Homestuck. A green ghost on his shirt. I knew there's a little bit of green somewhere on him. Just couldn't tell where it was. Now it just depends on what this ghost looks like. I'm assuming it's like a Pac-Man ghost look. Yeah, I'll just go with that. Duh. And that is John Homestuck right there. Pretty swell person. I don't know anything about them, but pretty dope. The John Homestuck to Horse Pipeline. What if there was Lottie Homestuck? I wonder what. I can try that out. Let me see what that looks like. That's pretty fun. Sorry for the round. Interesting. Huh. Homestuck really is a strange thing. I still occasionally see cosplays of Homestuck characters on my feed sometimes. That's more accurate to them. Um, I'll just leave her with no mouth because I think that's appropriate for Lottie. Yeah, that's Lottie Homestuck. Looks like shit and it's bad, but it's a Lottie Homestuck. I think I'll go back to what I was doing prior. I want to do a line of drawings for all the main six. That's what I've been working on. Recently, I wanted to do one for Rarity today, it's been a process of trial and error, but I think this is where I find what it's going to be. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Her hair drill thingies that I'm doing here, they remind me of Teto. I think that's how Teto. Very, they're very fun to draw, very disconnected from anything. They're not really rooted in reality. Just enjoyable to draw and look at. I like Spiral's Gurren Lagann. Spiral. Who's June Egbert? That's not a real person. Homestuck fans just say anything you'll just say the random ass name and be like, this is a real character when no, that's not a real character, bro. June Egbert? Okay, this should be tinier. I was on our way. This is tiny here. John Yeah, there's Lottie Homestuck and John Homestuck. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. J June? Okay, I gotta stop. One thing I keep always get into a bad habit of doing, and it's usually just not a good thing to get into if you're making any sort of art, is thinking too much about it. Like even right now, as I'm talking about how I'm thinking too much about what I'm drawing, I'm still thinking too much about what I'm drawing. Like I'm undoing a lot, trying to make sure everything looks perfect when I really shouldn't be in that mindset because I mean this is like a sketch, but I just do my sketches like this, I guess. I don't know if you'd call it a sketch. I don't, usually lately I don't have like a sketch phase and then line art. I just do everything all at once. I don't like that. Actually, I'll erase all of that. Okay, so you have that leaning on. Damn it. Okay. I don't like any of that at all. I'll just erase all of it. That is not good. Gooda. I mean, Rarity kind of already, her hair has spirals in it. I may do that. I may do, I want to kind of do like a Vocaloid thing with a bunch of MLP characters eventually. That'll probably be after I'm done with this line for all of them. I really do like, uh, it's like I'm losing my train of thought. I have no idea what I was gonna say. Yeah, I completely lost that. Holy shit. I have no idea what I'm gonna say. Joel Luddy like a Homestuck character. I did I attempted to. I'm not gonna say I did, but I tried my best. I don't I didn't look up what a Homestuck character looks like. I This is just my assumption of what they look like. Do I have to throw in buck teeth to make it more Homestucky? This is my rendition of Lottie as a Homestuck character. I A blue dog girl? I don't know what that means. Like uh okay, I can try. A blue dog girl. Hello, Austin. How goes ye? I don't know what he looks like. I didn't look him up. I because I had a vague idea of what he looks like. I just kind of forgot. And this is what his hair kind of reminded me of. Puppy girl. This is not TF2 Liver. Oh, was that Silky? Ew. I hate TF2. I'm just kidding. I love TF2. It's such an awesome game. This is the best dog girl I can give you. I don't think so, but uh, someone in the chat said get made a TF2 reference, so I just kind of assumed that was Ramona. That's John Homestuck and Lottie Homestuck with her blue puppy dog icon. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but yeah. Back to what's really important, rarity. Let's get back to that. Uh, I'm not drawing anything from TF2. I'm sorry. I know the title of the video is I'm drawing whatever people tell me to do, but yeah, I'm not drawing anything from TF2. That's just how it is. Like with the Homestuck thing, I have a vague idea of what the Homestuck characters look like, which is why it was fun for me to try and recreate them. I do know what the TF2 characters look like. I just don't really find their designs appealing enough to like actually try. Um, I don't know if I like that. Doesn't look very good. Yeah, you too. I don't know who Tenna is. I'm assuming because I see Spamton, I'm assuming it's an Undertale character. Ferrari TF2 hat. I'm not. I just said I'm not drawing TF2. Oh my god, the hair is always the most annoying part of everything. Oh god. Okay, do I even want those ears anymore? I don't think I do. I can move those away for now. I like removing parts of a character just not deleting them, just moving them off to the side so I can try them out later. Mario, I can try Mario. Try drawing Mario from memory. I have a friend, Daniel, and he's perfect at drawing Mario characters. He's like great at recreating styles. I'm not really. I'm not very good at recreating styles of other media, but he's really good at it. And he could draw you an incredible Mario. Mine is gonna be mediocre because I'm not a big Mario fan actually. In fact, I could go say far as to say I don't like Mario at all. I actually quite dislike Mario. I'm always more into Sonic. Any day of the week, I'll pick Sonic over Mario. What's his hair look like? And he's got his cap. This is not Mario. He has an M, right? Yeah. Can we shoot Mario with a rocket? Are there rockets in Mario? Hmm. I could shoot him. I could draw him exploding. This is probably the only Mario drawing I'll do. Unless I'm drawing Sonic shooting Mario. That'd be pretty interesting. He looks like a baby. Bonsai Bill. Oh, is that the bullet? Is that the missile? I guess that is a bullet, technically. This does not look like Mario at all. Never noticed how both Mario and Sonic have gloves. I'm not gonna try with that hand. Uh, there you have. I don't even want to say this is Mario. You have Maurice, because that looks nothing like Mario. That's someone else. Can make him hold a gun. Here is his gun. I never learned. It's funny because I never learned how to draw a gun. Like even as a kid, when I was still drawing Stickman comics, this is how I would draw guns, like kind of just like an L shape. And even now, till this day, I still, if I ever have to draw a gun, that's what I'm gonna draw. Occasionally, if I want it to be real fancy, I'd add like that. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but I'd throw that in there. Yeah, Maurice, Mario, Melvin. Yeah, you just try it. Actually, let's do something. This is an idea I was thinking of earlier that I didn't know if I'd try it out, but let's think something up. I think it would be pretty interesting. Okay, so basically, this is gonna be we're gonna simulate. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna simulate a civilization. We're gonna start off with this guy, and I'm gonna let you guys decide what this guy chooses to do. So for context, this is imagine he's a caveman, and there's just all there is just rocks and trees around. There's like nothing substantial. What should this guy do? All he's got is rocks and trees and bushes, and occasionally there's a few animals. Okay, yeah, I guess it is like homestuck. Use the rock and hit the tree. Not sure what that's gonna do, but sure, we can try that. Okay, guy hits the tree with the rock. There's a huge thunk. Oh my god, something is happening. Oh, what's that? A god acorn falls from the top of the tree. That's pretty interesting. Now you're probably asking, what's a god acorn? Because god acorns don't normally spawn. That's not a normal thing to be happening. Right, suggestion comic. I did run a suggestion comic on Loser City one time, the furry subreddit. It I only did like three, but it was pretty fun. It was fun, yeah. Yeah, so there was a god acorn, and now what should he do with the god acorn? The two options are either pick it up and and you can eat it. Oh, okay. I guess he's gonna eat it already. The people decided. So the guy eats the god acorn. Hello, Bill K. Welcome to the stream. This is my first actual stream, so I'm just trying things out. So the guy eats the god acorn, and it gives him incredible power. So now he's pretty much God, meaning he can do anything he wants with this place. He can create anything. What does he create? I guess this is kind of like Homestuck. This stop saying Homestuck. This isn't Homestuck. Stop saying Homestuck and answer the question. We've got stuff to create. What does he create? Another acorn. I'm not gonna listen to that. a, a dog. Okay. I was looking up how to create the thing that Homestuck is just earlier today, which is kind of interesting. You create the creature, super god acorn. I'm gonna say dog. So he's gonna create a dog, and that's what we're gonna do. So now this guy has a dog. Ignore that the dog just looks like another stick man on all fours, but he has a dog now. Give it ears. Now, what adventure should the dog and this guy journey on? What should they do? Because they've got to do something in this wasteland. They can't just stay around and do nothing. What percent are we speed running? We're currently on like 2%. The story hasn't gone anywhere. I'm curious how this will end because the power creep. already seems to be insane. He started from just a regular caveman dude, and now he's just God. Brew a pot of God ichor in a pot. Hmm, interesting. Let's see if we have any other suggestions for what to do. If not, then I don't know. That's funny. Make the sun. I was under the impression that the sun already existed within this space, but sure, I'll say he's creating the sun. So we now have a sun, and the sun provides heat, which means we have a lot of capabilities for things. We can grow food now. There's daytime, which also implies there's a nighttime, I guess. So I'll put a moon there too. I'm not sure what the moon's gonna do, but yeah. So now our barren wasteland is not so barren anymore. What are you guys talking about? You take the moon and you take okay, we have oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Sounds like Macbeth. What are you saying? What you how do you want to take it? You want him to claim the moon and the sun? Okay, sure. He can claim the moon and the sun. So he has the sun in his hand now, and he has the power. He has the power of both the sun and the moon, which means he can do something. I'm not sure what he can do with the sun and the moon, but he's gonna do something with it, I guess. So he's got the sun and the moon. Sun and moon, I like Pokemon? Pokemon? Sun and moon, like Pokemon? Huh. From his left pinky. Oh, he's a stick man. He doesn't have hands, but he can create clam. I don't know what clam chowder is. I'm gonna draw it based off what I think clam chowder is. Clam chowder, I assume, is looks like a clam. So yeah, that's clam chowder. Yeah, he has clam chowder now, and the clam chowder gives him +5 intelligence. So he can either feed this to his dog. As a matter of fact, no, that's not good. It gives him +1000 intelligence. So he can either eat this or he can feed it to his dog. Those are the two options. He can eat it or he can feed it to his dog and see what happens if that he feeds it to his dog. I'm interested what happened. Yeah, give it to his dog. Yeah, there's no question there. He's gonna give it to the dog. Yeah, this is just like power creep. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I love that movie. Yeah. So, oh my God, you're a genius. So his dog is now Mr. Peabody, pretty much. His dog, it's still just a dog, but now he's smart and he reads books and stuff. Don't ask where he gets the books. So now his dog is smart, and his dog has all the secrets to the universe. Name the dog Brian. Okay. The dog now has a name tag like in Minecraft, and his name is Brian. That's the dog's name. Turn the guy into Lottie. I'm not gonna do anything Woe is I related. What is the character from my PNG tuber? It's just a character that I guess it's an OC that's like my persona, I'd say. I don't know. I haven't really delved too much or like done too much with this character, but I like her. So Peabody and Sherman. Well, he's not Sherman. It's Peabody and or, no Brian and Sherman, I guess. Color the guy's sign code. Make them fight Abraham Lincoln. Once we went down the Mr. Peabody route, there was Wait, no, Abraham Lincoln doesn't exist in this world. There's no Abraham Lincoln. They can't do that. This is a barren wasteland. They can't even there's nothing. I'm not making Abraham Lincoln. Build a society, you guys. Start creating a society. He's not going to create Abraham Lincoln. The next step in his evolution is to create a society. He already skipped that part and now he's just God, but I guess he can still make this a society. I feel like I'm playing one of those text adventures. That's good. That's exactly what I was hoping this would feel like. I'm enjoying this and just messing around with these stupid ideas. Where you sign and the dog is orange. I'm not doing the sign in orange. Okay, fine. They're gonna create Abraham Lincoln and fight the guy since you want that so much. So now Abraham Lincoln is here in his top hat and his beard or whatever. And Abraham Lincoln is like OP and he's like super powerful. And Brian and Peabody, not no Brian and Sherman. Why am I calling him Sherman? He's not Sherman. He's just a dude. Now have to fight Lincoln, and it's an epic boss fight. And after tons of trials and tribulations, I'm just gonna call him Abraham. That's not an M. I don't know what that is. Okay, so now we have the Abraham Lincoln boss fight. Let's give him a health bar. I'll just throw in a health bar there. So this just turned into turn-based combat now. This is like a D&D campaign, I guess. Make him wear three hats on top of the other. And do she's this does have nothing to do with TF2. Make him summon Reagan. Okay. So now it's a double boss fight. I'm gonna have to add a second health bar in there. Actually, I should I'll just shorten that to Abe. Abe and Ray. Yeah, that's some pretty hip ass names. I don't know what defining features Reagan has. I guess his hair. I'm thinking of Clone High. Wait, that's not Reagan. That was JFK. I don't know what Reagan looks like. I don't know why they're flying either. Okay. What should be their move to attack? Make Reagan use his power Watergate and make dude summon Weird Al. Pacifist route. That's actually I'm not doing that. Silky's not being added in this. That's actually not a bad idea. Weird Al's gonna come in, I guess, and he's gonna unite the people. I'm thinking of Weird Al's design from from My Little Pony. I'm gonna draw him with a guitar. Gonna have a little guitar or banjo, whatever you want to call it. He's gonna play for the people, and they're gonna love him. So now, Lincoln, Reagan, Peabody, and everyone else are all happy to see Weird Al play for them. Dude's just here. And then you finally make society. Okay, now that there was a happy ending there to that story, everyone's united. Dude realizes that he needs to search for his purpose. So he leaves and he wanders in the empty void for centuries. Yeah, he's in. If you didn't know he was in a void, there's cactuses there. Just so you do know now. Okay, dude finally leaves the rest of his party, and now there's been 1,000 years. Make the dog follow him. Okay, yeah, sure. And dude realizes that his dog follows him, and he's very happy because he thought he was all alone this entire time. But the 1,000 year journey has made Ryan old and weak. This dog has seen better days, and he will soon be put down. Now, dude is faced with two options. He either puts his dog down or he continues to keep him alive. Now, during that time, during all those thousands of years, while Brian was searching for dude, make the dog a wise old ghost. I'm down with that. I'm cool with that. Okay, so the dog is now just a ghost, I guess. And he's like super wise and stuff. I'll give him a must. I'll give him glass just to signify his wisdom. So now he has the guidance of a wise ghost, and the wise ghost tells him to build a village. And now there's his ultimate goal. How he builds that village is up to you guys. What should he start with in building a village? Think of it like you're playing Clash Royale, a Clash of Clans. You know, when they give you the tutorial and you gotta start somewhere. You gotta, yeah. Of course he's gonna start with a horse. All right, we can get that horse going, I guess. So the first thing he starts off with is by finding himself a horse in a wilderness. Now, he doesn't really have much use for the horse because there's no cargo around, but yeah. So now he's got a horse. What's he got to do with the horse? Uh, Hi, I'm trying to get into streaming, just wondering how you do it. Oh, hey there, welcome to the stream. We're just messing around with text-based adventure, I guess. On streaming, I don't really know anything about streaming. This is my very first time ever streaming, so you're witnessing history, I guess. Uh, I'm using OBS and some other things. I'm no pro by any means. I don't really know what I'm doing still, but yeah. OBS or Streamlabs, you could look into either of those. Both work. Stables, okay. We got stables in town. So now there's one stable, I guess. It's a stable. Or that spells stable, I guess. So now we have a stable. And this is the stable for the horses. You can put the horses in there. And actually, matter of fact, I'll have a horse in there just for now. Because remember, he has no use for the horse right now. So our town has a stable. What's next? Why would I make the horse transparent? Actually, I forgot about the dog ghost. He looks like a sperm. I'm not giving the horse a wife. Forget about the horse. This guy has a horse, but he has nothing to do with the horse. There's no horse Yuri. And the stable is very stable, I assure you. What's you guys' obsessions with horses? Okay, bro. I'm gonna have him punch a cactus. So he decides to punch a cactus. Not sure why he punches the cactus, but he does. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, you love Equinus. And when he punches the cactus, you're right, water starts spilling out of the cactus. And now he has a source of water. See, we're finally getting somewhere. We're actually building civilization. That's nice. Shut up about Bridget. There's no Bridget Guilty Gear. We have water. Who needs Bridget when you have water? Water is life. Huh, I'm curious what we should do with this water. Can you fish in the cactus pond? That is a great question, actually. Let's see what happens if he does. Well, he doesn't have a fishing rod, so I'll just have him dig around in there with his on all fours. Let's degrade this guy. I wish that were me. Nah, I'm just kidding. Now he's fishing around, pun intended. And he finds something. So actually, with this one, I'm gonna make you guys gamble. Pick a number from 1 to 3, and that determines what happens. Either of them is pretty good, just from 1 to 3, I guess. Meowscles isn't anything. 2, 4. There's no 4. Stop being contrarian and saying 3. 2? Okay, it seems like everyone has decided on 2, so 2 it is. So the dude reaches in and out from the pond, he pulls out a fish man. He is half man, half fish, meaning he now has a new companion and someone who can help him start up this town. It's not Jimbei, it's Fishman. He's not a fishman, I guess. His name is just Fishman because he's a fishman. So now the squad. Actually, I'm gonna open up a tab here and name that like the party members, I guess. So currently in the party we have Dude who is our protagonist. We have Ghost Dog. We have Horse. And we have Fishman. So at any point in time, you can give any order to any of these people, and they're gonna have to do that thing. So it's pretty much like an RPG, I guess. But you can do anything you want. The punch cactus becomes sentient and attacks him. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Send Fishman to find water. Okay. That actually seems productive to the development of our town. So, Fishman goes off to find water. Well, actually, that's Fishman doesn't actually have to go off to find water. All he does is uproot the cactus, and now you have an infinite source of water. You guess cactus is half water. Okay. Now there's a huge, endless pond in here, and you can get fish from it. So Fishman is actually proving to be quite useful, unlike everyone else in the party who hasn't done anything. There's not going to be horse Yuri because that's not productive to the society right now. Don't you guys want to see this town thrive? Actually, what should we name this settlement? It's not really a village. It's not really anything. But hey, it's like Minecraft, I guess. We have water now and stuff. Hmm. Okay, fine. There will be another horse. We're gonna expand the stables. I'm not calling it Ellingtonville. I hate you. We're expanding the stables, and now we have two horses. And yes, they're both female horses. So now you have your horse Yuri, I guess. Are you happy now? Now will the two horses kissing allow you to focus on building your legacy? I already gave you the Yuri. I'm not naming the town Yuri. All right, whatever. I will name the town Yuri, I guess. Yeah, so this is Yuri. The people are trying to set up their stuff. Okay. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do with that pond of water. The hell? Yes, we can make houses for people. Fine, we should have done this a while ago. I feel like we skipped a few steps in the creation of society. Annoying horse couple versus evil, intimidating lesbian. How the tables have turned. All right, we start off with some nice starter houses for the people. Keep things nice and simple. Nothing too crazy. Make a horse shaped. No, you just started off with your starter houses. You can't just make them anything. These are just very basic houses. You don't have what it takes to build. Can you find people? I mean, I guess. Yeah. There's no yaoi. Dude decides to create a bonfire. And so dude creates a bonfire. It's nighttime. I'm gonna set the mood so we know that it's nighttime. And the light from the fire attracts some other humans. So now we have two new people in town. Because if dude is God, they'll flock to him and shit. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Dude becoming malicious and claiming to be God. Okay, I'll allow you guys to decide how this first encounter goes with Dude and these people. Dude decides to approach them. What does he do? How does he approach? Jesse and James? Actually, that's not bad. I will name them Jesse and James. I'll just put J and J for now. Let's make it plus. Uh, my Jameson settles down. Pinkie Pie will not be coming out here. They see Fishman and freak out. That's not a bad idea. Make dude greet them carefully. Make the Fishman kiss dude. The Fishman's not gonna kiss dude. Fishman's a fish. Well, he's a fish man, but I guess he's still a fish man. He's a fish. I'm gonna go with make dude greet them cheerfully. I'm gonna make him very cheerful. So now we're up to a good start with J and J. So make dude summon bread. Not a bad idea. I think we keep forgetting dude is just God. This guy has to lose his god powers eventually. Okay, so dude creates a loaf of bread, and the people are shocked. Even Fishman's shocked because he didn't know this was a thing. He didn't know dude was God. So he's just been chilling with God and he had no clue this entire time. I'm not making dude court James. Crucify dude when he gets too powerful. That might Loki be how this story ends. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It might end like that. Okay. So now everyone in town is chilling shit. The bread successfully attracted them to staying in this settlement. James is a finance dude, and as a result, he opens up a bank. So now we're introducing capitalism. So yeah, you can meet James at the bank. Jessie is a farm girl, so she now looks after the horses, which I guess means she's lesbian too, I guess. I guess I'll make her lesbian. Since I'm sure you guys would have asked me anyway to do that, I'll just go ahead of you. Jesus H. Christo. It's funny you say that. I watched a documentary recently about that guy. It was pretty funny. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, our society is thriving. We're doing pretty good here. And in the meantime, while all that's happening, dude sends Fishman to do what he does best and go fish. David Hasselhoff. And I only know David Hasselhoff from two movies, and that is Hop, which is that one movie about the Easter bunny who wants to drum instead of make candy, and from the SpongeBob movie. And that's all I know about him. I don't know who he actually is or what he does. I just know he's in those movies. SpongeBob, SpongeBob, SpongeBob. Fishman finds his wife in the pond. Not a bad idea. So Fishman is now reunited with his wife. I know it's pretty stereotypical to put a skirt on a character just so they identify as both as females, but I think it's pretty fair when you're working with stickmen and you have such little detail. Long as arms, bro. Yeah, so they're happy. Can Ghost Dog create books and shit? Well, yeah, I guess he can because he's Brian. Okay, yeah. And with that, we have a new settlement opening up in town, which is the library. I'll have Ghost Dog assigned to the library. Oh, okay. So Ghost Dog now works here, looks after that place. You can find him in there if you ever need him. So Ghost Dog is busy. He's typing away in there right now. He can't do any assigned tasks right now because he's writing the Dude Bible and he's writing about, their old adventures with Reagan and Lincoln back in the day when he was still Brian, the alive dog. And in the meantime, you're probably wondering, where's Dude? What's Dude been doing this whole time? And Dude, in the meantime, has been cultivating a following by preaching to people who choose to come to the village. Summon a battery for your smoke alarm. Can you guys hear the smoke alarm? Actually, I forgot to ask that. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't think you should be hearing it, but you never know. Audio is an interesting thing, and it works in interesting ways. Oh, you guys can hear. Oh, yeah, that sucks for you guys. Don't worry. Give me like a month. In like a month, I will not be in the same house anymore, so you won't have to hear that. I didn't know you guys could hear that. Is it like ear piercingly loud, like unbearable right now? So yeah. So, quick rundown on what's going on around the village. So, the party is still dude, ghost, dog, horse, fishman. The NPCs that we have currently are the two horses. Well, I guess they're beast. We have Jessie, who's now a stable girl, and we have James, who works at the bank. Ghost Dog is currently typing away in the library, working on the Dude Bible, and Fishman is busy spending time with Fish Woman while Dude is preaching to strangers who come across their village and trying to convince them to join their cause. What is the cause, you say? I don't know. I'm not going to replace it. That's too much work. Train station branded with the girls kissing. The Industrial Revolution. Well, while that would be cool, we don't have anyone who's a specialist on trains, tracks, and shit like that. And on that note, we probably need to add more buildings. Fishman is revealed to be trans. Okay, bro. Okay, so now that we have more people in town, we got more buildings. Dudes cause us to feed the poor. Well, we don't really have a supply of food right now, so there's no really killing the. Well, I mean, he can make bread. What am I talking about? He can make bread. Never mind. So yeah, he's sharing bread to the people now. Uh, I just gotta say, like, this has actually been a pretty fun stream. Like for our first time streaming. Like, yeah, I'm having fun. I'll probably end soon, in a while, within the next hour, but yeah, this has been fun. So, dude's pretty much just feeding homeless people. Well, I don't know what this world they live in is called. I don't know why everyone's just wandering around in this void desert. But yeah, I'll just have a guy with a backwards hat there. I'll throw in a kid. There'll be a kid here with a cowboy hat. Build a skyscraper in place of the small houses. Do I plan on streaming again? Oh, definitely. After this, I'm having fun. Even just with this idea, like what we're doing right now, this whole text-based thing, Billy the Kid. Oh yeah, you got it. You got what I was going for. Uh, Even just with this text-based adventure thing, I'm having fun with it. And this was just like something that wasn't planned or prepared. I'm interested to see where I could go with this idea if I do it kind of similar to a D&D setup where it's like there's like planned routes or something, or like even like a system where it's almost played like a tabletop RPG by the audience. I think that would be fun to mess around with and see how I could evolve that. So yeah, dude is now feeding the masses. He's feeding people. A person of interest that we get in the village is, like Austin said, Billy the Kid. We now have Billy the Kid. He's in our village. And Billy the Kid is now our marksman, so he's a part of the party. He's the guy who does all the shit with the guns. Let me see. So now what's the cause? Fishman is out of commission because he's with his wife. Ghost Dog is also out of commission. We have access to the horses still, but there isn't much to do with them. A Dryad moves in. Send Billy to the coal mines. That's Come on. I know he's a kid, but that's a waste of Billy's skills. He's a gunsmith. He's much more qualified than that. Actually, we'll send these two guys. These two guys look like miners. I'll send those guys to the mines instead. So now we have an established mine. I'll put that over here. We have ourselves a nice little mine over here. Nothing too fancy. I'll put like a track over here. Yeah, so now we have the mines. And I'll send those two guys in there. So yeah, the capacity of the mines right now, you can only have two people in there at once. You gotta level that up with 5,000 gold. Yeah, yeah, it's like Clash of Clans pretty much. One day, okay, so now there's gonna be a quick event happen. One day, while everyone in town is busy, Dude wanders off and encounters a strange man. with a top hat and a monocle and a nice little beard. And this man tells Billy that he can have whatever he wants, and all he has to do is shake his hand, and he will have infinite power. Now, this man is Shady McShade Guy. I'll just call him Shady for short, but his full name is Shady McShade Guy. So, yeah, Shady's in town. Now, dude has the option to. He can accept Shady's shady request, or he could just decline, and that may or may not end well for him because Shady's pretty shady. And sometimes you don't want to piss off shady guys. Sometimes they want to just go, oh, yeah, sure, and agree to whatever's being proposed because, well, they're shady. Or the third option, you could recruit Shady and have him in town and lend whatever special skills he has. The Riddler's gonna make Billy the Kid kill dude. Holy shit, bro. Austin, I'm not even gonna lie, you're a genius. What the hell? I didn't even think of that. It's like an insane plot line. We can go with that. I can get behind that. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you recruit Shady into the party. Now Shady's in there. And Shady is a pretty skilled guy. He's not really like he's kind of like a jack of all trades. He doesn't really specialize in one thing. He just kind of does a bunch of stuff, I guess. I'm not sure what we'll call this story. I don't know what dude adventures. Yeah, a YouTube clickbait conversation. Yeah, this is really a really brain dead conversation. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. But yeah, so those two guys come back from the mines. It's been a few days. Come back from the mines, and now we have some gold. Yeah, the Dude Bible's not finished. It could be called the Dude Bible. That's not a bad name. Okay, they have pickaxes because of course they have pickaxes. It's not what a pickaxe looks like. Uh yeah, and I'm gonna have them hunched over all the time because now they have severe back pain. Okay, now we have actual gold, meaning we're kind of prosperous and we can start trading with other nations if we wanted to. Not that there's anyone to trade with because, well, no other nations exist, at least now. Not yet, they don't. It would also be interesting to just keep on with, like, at first I was thinking that every single stream would be like a new story and stuff, but I think it would be interesting to just keep building off of this story. And like taking a screenshot at the end of each one and just seeing how the village changes and evolves as time goes on. Because right now we have a few buildings in Yuri Town, I guess. Make a coal power plant. Okay, so actually, why did I say gold? We don't have gold. We're not that rich. We have coal. What we have is coal. I should make that all black because now we have a bunch of coal. Coal power plant. I don't know what power plants do or why we'd need a power plant, so we're not gonna make a power plant. It's a waste of our resources. But anyway, out in the wilderness, we have. I'll just put Billy the Kid here, and he's practicing his shot with his irons. Billy the Kid's just hunting horses now, I guess. Yeah, there's a bunch of horses came around to town because they heard this was Yuri Town. A bunch of lesbians came to town because they heard there was Yuri Town or lesbian horses, and now Billy the Kid is tasked with killing them because the lesbian horses are apparently an invasive species if there's too many of them. And Billy the Kid is being mentored by Shady McShady because of course he is. The town would get electricity, but is that a good thing? Who knows? Make lesbian a class for a character. I think lesbian would be less of a class and more of like a modifier thing, like a substat kind of thing, maybe. Because like the stable lady Jessie is lesbian. I think I should name. I wonder if I should. No, the miners don't deserve names. They're just miners. I'll just call them miners. Can I make a dino? Well, no, because we have to get the natural progression before we can have a dino. I know dude is God and he can technically make whatever he wants, but that's no fun. That wouldn't be nice. The miners, yeah, yeah, those are the miners there, all right. I mean, we have one miner in town, but yeah, a dino. If we were to even build up to a dinosaur, how would we even get there? I mean, we have fish people. We have two fish people in town right now. Name the miners Dylan and Brady. No, I'm gonna keep them as nameless fodder because they're minors. They don't deserve rights or names. Their job is to cook up coal. But okay, I'm just gonna throw this question out there and let you guys decide. What should we do with the coal that the miners brought up? Power plant. Learn how to make machines. Does dude have a counterpart like a nemesis? I mean, no, dude is kind of just doing his own thing. Well, there was Shady, and Shady's just a shady guy we don't really know much about. He's not much of a character right now. They did some a power plant, estrogen lab. There's no RVs. We don't have cars yet. I do agree, kind of agree on the machines. Now we just need, we can pull one of the NPCs living in our village who has the skills to build the machines, and we'll start off with a very basic machine. So he's gonna create a coal. Actually, I'll have the guy have a welding mask because, well, he's a, that's his job. And his first invention is a coal-powered microwave. So now the people have a microwave. And they can microwave their food, I guess. Like it's nothing crazy, but like it's a start. It's the Industrial Revolution, an industrial factory for metals. Well, we just started with microwaves. Microwave? Microwave. Get shady on blueprint duty. Actually, I think you're right. I think that is the optimal strat. While Billy's out here killing lesbian horses, uh, we can have Shady and Dude. Shady and Dude will go off over here and just work on city plans. I think Shady was gonna kind of become like an advisor to Dude, kind of like a devil on his shoulder almost. Which is funny because Shady is the devil, I guess. Yeah, so he's always scheming on stuff. Put coal in the microwave. Microwaving coal makes two charcoal. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's what Billy the Kid is doing. So, to catch you up, basically, we have two horses in our town. The town is called Uri. We have two horses here, and the two horses are lesbian, but you can't have too many lesbian horses, or else they kind of become an invasive species. And these lesbian horses were trying to move into the town, so Billy has to kill them because, yeah. They're not playing chess. They're building. They're planning out the city and the skyscrapers and the WalMarts they're gonna build once they're rich enough. Like, keep in mind, dude, while he is God, he also is like he still like is an ambitious guy. Like he wants to like build his stuff brick by brick. He doesn't really just want to have it handed to him easily. To use one of Noah's dumbass metaphors. It's like Minecraft creative mode, like going into survival and just give or creative and just giving yourself everything. Yeah, dude's kind of like a guy who just wants to build shit himself. So dude and Shady are there. They're working on their stuff. Make walls around the town to keep the horses from getting to them. That is a good plan, actually. That is a good one. Okay, so now that Shady and Dude are working on that, they bring in a third party from town, and this guy's a builder. He's a construction dude. And so now we have a town builder also. Let me draw up a list of all the NPCs we currently have in our town. So we have Jesse, who is the stable girl. We have James, who is the banker. Keep in mind, we haven't done anything with the banks and money and capitalism in general. I should put a toy dino in the model city. I might. I could do that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we have Jessie, stable girl. She's lesbian, which is why she looks after the lesbian horses. Oh, hey, Chew. What's up? James works at the bank. We haven't done anything with the money because that's not on dude's priority, I guess. We have two miners. They don't have any names, but we have two miners. We have our engineer. We have Shady. Yeah, Shady is a part of the main party. He's not an NPC. And then now we have our builder. So those are all the NPCs we have currently. And now that we've done our contract shit with our builder, we can get rid of those guys and we can start building that wall across the city. The wall is currently unfinished, though, because walls take a while to build. Yeah, that's what I said when they tried to build the Great Wall of China. I was there. They just didn't have the cameras on. Tough times, man. Name the builder Sasha. Well, the builder was a dude, but okay, sure, the builder could be Sasha. I said I'm not naming the miners because right now we have two miners. The miners are like ants. They don't have names or personalities. Eventually, when we're rich enough, we'll have so many miners that there's no way we will keep track of their names, which is why I'm not naming the miners. Okay, our builder's name is Sasha. Sasha, I'll name her Sasha B so I remember she's the builder. Uh, let's get an X or the one. I forgot to put an X. Well, I forgot to put many X's, so shut up, Soraya. Okay, we can just build that wall. Okay, so Billy no longer has to kill the lesbian horses, which, thank God, it was getting quite tedious, and the city was almost overran by the lesbian horses. So now the lesbian horses are kind of locked out of the city because we don't want them here. We have enough lesbian horses in here. We have two, and that's all we can take. I'm sorry to all the lesbian horses out there, but you just can't move in here. You gotta find somewhere else. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move the lesbian horses away. Goodbye. Who touched Sasha? What? Okay, so, yeah, I'll just have Sasha busy working on this wall. Laying bricks. Laying bricks. Laying sticks. I don't know why there's bricks. This is not a. Actually, I should just make these wooden planks. Yeah. Now we're getting fortified. Yeah. Eventually, we might have to expand to a branch village or something. But yeah, so far, this is what we have. Is Billy a reference to Death Grips? Well, he's more a reference. Billy the Kid is a reference to Billy the Kid, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. If anything, he'd be more of a reference to Death the Kid from Soul Eater, because that's one of my favorite animes. And quick plug, you should go watch Soul Eater because it's pretty dope. It's also for just a really fun story. Yeah, we're clamming on the miners because they don't deserve anything. They're fodder. Make a dude statue in the middle of town. Actually, you're right. I can move the bonfire because we haven't been using that. I'll have Sasha build a dude statue. We should put a crown on dude. There we go. We now have our dude statue in the center of town. All right. Bye, Austin. It was great having you. You were an excellent contribution to this society. Name the engineer Austin. Actually, that's yeah, that I will do that actually. Okay, the engineer's name is Austin. Name Austin E. Sorry, remember he's an engineer. There's no Walmarts. I'm not sure in Sands. Okay, so Austin, the engineer, has been cooking up something new. And what he's created is a car. I know it's a pretty big leap in this society, but unfortunately, we only have the materials for one singular car. Meaning, not one person really owns the car. It's more of a communal village car that people would just use if they ever need to go out of the town. I guess it's more so dude's car. All right, bite you, Bob the Builder. It's also pretty. This is weird because this is such a simple, stupid, silly story, but I find Dude to actually be a somewhat compelling character because like he's God, he's all powerful, but like he's all powerful, but he isn't all knowing. So like even just seeing this is his first time seeing a car. So even though he's so powerful, he's still just fascinated by such simple concepts, which I think is pretty interesting. Okay, so now we have a car, and Shady has been doing his thing. Actually, I think the next development that we should get into is creating the interior of the buildings, which I could actually just do on another layer. So I'll just make that a smaller sub screen. I can just make those into smaller screens. I don't know if you can tell, but I have the biggest smile on my face. I'm having a lot of fun with this right now. I wonder if there's a way I could turn this concept into regular YouTube videos. That'd be pretty cool. So this is the library. What I'm doing is creating interiors. So we can open up those screens and like change them around if we ever need to. Or if there's like an update to the inside. Yeah, he really is just a silly guy. So Ghost Dog has been meditating and, well, writing the book of the Microwave Iron Factory. Maybe. I mean, I guess we kind of already have iron since we built a car. We just didn't see that step. We could build an iron farm, I guess. And this village might have to eventually break out into like other layers underground just so things work. And like there's more space. Okay, I'll just make the library real quick. This is what a shelf looks like, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's an excellent bookshelf. They could also make iron golems or just like golems to protect the village in general. Because right now we only have one combat character, and that's Billy the Kid, which probably isn't very good. We should probably have more defenses and stuff. Okay. We have our library. I'll put a few tables and chairs in there, just so we can check in on different characters inside what they're doing, and like we can move people around and they can do their own stuff. Build on the ground if you need more space. Yeah, that is just what you do, I guess. If you ever run out of space, start building on the ground. Even in Minecraft, also. The Yuri horses are gonna stay the way they are. I don't know if we'll do much more with them unless we weaponize the Yuri horses. Okay, so Ghost Dog has been in here working on the Book of Dude, which is basically, well, it's not the Book of Dude, it's the Dude Bible, is what we called it. I think the Book of Dude also is a pretty sick name. I'll give him a typewriter so he looks like Snoopy, I guess. That's what a typewriter looks like, right? That looks like a cash register thing, kind of. Yeah, so Ghost Dog has been in here. He's been in the lab. He's been pumping stuff out. Yeah, so we have our interior there, which could change in the future if I ever get any better ideas, or if it like gets destroyed, we could just destroy the entire place. I also got to remember to save this file so I can come back to this. All right, so we have our library. Our library preset is now done. I can just name that later. In the future, if they're building on the ground, they should build an energy facility using. When I read the name Angela, for some reason I thought that was an Atlas reference. I'm sure it's not, but I have no idea. Are you talking about Fallout? It sounds like you're talking about Fallout. Also, I think your profile picture is fentanyl, so that probably would make sense if you were talking about Fallout. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we have our library. I can make the other presets. Uh, so now we have a car and shit, and that's going pretty well. Oh, oh, I don't know how I didn't get that. Of course it is. That makes sense. I did download Lobotomy Corporation. One time I just never played it. Well, I pirated it, which I'm glad I did because if I spent money on it and I just never did play it, I'd be pretty upset. Draw a nuke? Uh, we could test out nukes. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so they drove the lesbian horses away by building the wall. Uh, and now Austin, the engineer's latest endeavor is to try and build explosives. And if you know history, and I'm sure you all saw Oppenheimer, then we know that this is probably not going to end well for anyone. Eventually, they're going to be nuking everything, unless Dude steps in. But Dude may not care. Dude might just let Austin nuke all the lesbian horses. Well, I mean, they've got to test the nukes on something. Okay, so now I guess we're in the Industrial Revolution full swing, I guess. Blowing up stuff, testing out explosives and shit. And I think enough time has passed. Ha, Kagurabachi reference. Enough time has passed that uh now the wall is done. And I know it doesn't look like it is because it's not going all the way around, but that's just because if it went all the way around, then we'd be losing space. I guess the wall is more of an implication thing than an actual enclosing wall. Part of the wall gets destroyed and the horses run inside. Hmm, that's not a bad idea. Okay, see that screenshot. Let me save this as a screenshot so I just have this. 'Cause I like this. Okay. To the library. Alright, things are about to get crazy. One fateful day, the defenses are lacking, which means that a part of the wall is going to be broken down. Oh no, that's not good. We lost a section of our wall, our beautiful wall that we spent so much time working on. You're right. They shouldn't have built the wall out of wood. I don't know what these guys were thinking. What the hell? They're so stupid. Oh no, the wall is falling down now. And the town is overrun by lesbian horses. Everybody's running away. Because the worst thing that could happen to you is being attacked by lesbian horses. Nothing about that is ever fun. I would know. Fishman and woman unite. Low key, throughout everything, Fishman and woman are not in town because they went on their honeymoon. Yeah, so they're just out of town now and on their honeymoon, doing their own thing. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I was like, I think I was like 9, yeah, and then I went to my uncle's farm and there was this like group of really evil ass lesbian horses and they like chewed on my like collar. Yeah, it was quite upsetting. I remember I wasn't really happy about it. I was also quite traumatizing because then I went in back into the stables to see if I could like get back at them and I saw two horses scissoring and I was like, okay man, you do you, bro. Pretty harrowing stuff. Not very good. We'll send out Jessie to try and because she's the horse whisperer. She's the one who works at the stables who's been messing around with the horses, so I think she knows best. We'll send out Jessie with her trusty lasso. And she's gonna try and talk to them to calm them down. And Dude's just gonna stand around there because Dude's also kind of a spectator in the fact that he's God, but he also like it's his first time living, which means he doesn't really he's not too attached to people. He just kind of wants to see anything happen. So he's kind of curious if these lesbian horses are just gonna maul Jesse, which is why he's not really doing much to help. He's just kind of standing there. And Billy the Kid is on standby with his guns. Those are guns. I'm gonna have him doing this the crouch thingy or whatever. And now it's a real horse raid. Things are not looking good. Shady's nowhere to be found, and most of the townspeople are off doing their own thing. What's gonna happen next? You're gonna have to find out next time, because I think I'm done for the day. Uh, well, before I end, I'm gonna talk about a few things. Like, yeah, this was my first time streaming, and I had a lot of fun with this idea. I'm really liking this stuff. I'm gonna do quite a bit of brainstorming today and later on. Mess around with this idea, see how I can evolve it, how I can make it more fun and like more input heavy for you guys. I don't know, maybe try out some poll features and stuff like that. Just things to give you guys more agency in it. Another thing I'm also thinking about, and I'll mess around with that concept, is making it more like an RPG where you're playing as this character and I don't know, you have like an inventory and your stats and stuff like that. I don't know, I just think that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, I had a lot of fun working with this idea and just messing around with this. And also, thank you a lot to all of you guys who tuned in. It could not have been as fun as it was without you guys. And I hope you'll join me for the next stream and all the next ones and continue to support me in this endeavor. But yeah, thanks for everything. Goodbye.